Rob here with Freestyle Enduro 101. I wanted to give you a 26-year review today on a Honda XR650L. It's a 1993 model. I bought this bike back in 1993, and it's always been my go-to bike out of all the other bikes I've owned. It's never given me any problems. I got a little over 11,000 miles on it now, and you know, it's got all the power you'll ever want or need, you know, in a motorcycle. I've had 1,000 before, and that was just way too much. And I always go back to this bike when I just want to go out and relax and just really ride a motorcycle and have fun. I put this Corbin seat on it not long after I purchased it, and it's real comfortable. It's a lot wider than the stock seat. It's actually a little bit firmer than the stock seat, but the width gives it more comfort. I put the windscreen on it. That's really helped out a lot when going down the interstate, as far as keeping the wind from hitting my chest. And it actually keeps it up off my chest and kind of puts it up over my helmet. It does really good for a short windscreen. Not long after I bought the bike, I got the IMS smog delete kit. That took off the charcoal canister and all the plumbing that went to the you know, the smog emissions that were on the bike. It helped it out a little bit. It just, you know, it didn't bog as much. Before it seemed like it had more of a bog. And I also pulled the I pulled the baffle out of the exhaust. Made it a little bit louder. I don't think it increased the performance any. It just made it sound a little bit better. You know, the bike seems to do really good. It cruises down the interstate, cruises down back roads. It does everything you want it to do. I mean, I believe I could take real long trips on this bike if I wanted to. I've been on like a 140-mile trip. I think that's the furthest I've been on the bike, and you know, had no problems with it. It was comfortable the whole way. So anyhow, as far as maintenance to the bike, I really hadn't had to do anything to the bike since I've had it. I've just kept the oil changed, and I checked the valves a few times, and the valves are always in spec. So I don't think I really needed to check the valves, and probably until now. And you know, they probably still would have been fine. But anyhow, it was just a little security there. Been through some rear tires on the bike. The bike's got a lot of torque. I know it doesn't have as much horsepower as your newer dual sport bikes, but it does have a lot of torque, and it'll go through some rear tires when you're riding on the pavement. When, you know, just from taking off from stoplights and stuff, it really seems to grind off the tire. So anyhow, enough talking about it. Let's get this 26-year-old bike started, let you hear how it sounds, and then we'll take it for a little ride. Anyhow, you know, when I took the smog delete off of it, when I put the smog delete kit on it and I took the baffle out, it did develop a little bit of a pop, especially a pop on decel. But, you know, I still haven't seen any need to rejet the carb. The carb's all stock, and it seems to run just fine. So let's get on it and take it for a ride. It's got really good acceleration. It'll surprise you. I said I've ridden 1,000 before, and you know, when you get on it, it feels about the same to me. It takes off and goes, and it goes quick. So wet and rainy. This is one of the first days we've had where it's been nice and warm out. It's winter time here, and you know, you got to take advantage of these days while you can. You know, our bikes sit up all winter long, and if you don't drain the fuel out of them, the carburetors, you got a carbureted one, it gets all clogged up. On mine, I've always used the seafoam in my gas, and I took the carburetor apart on this one not too long ago, and so I was surprised. So it shows me that I believe that seat foam is really doing its job. It's keeping all the gunk and stuff out of that carburetor. Okay everyone, we're going to do a little off-roading with this XR650L. Just going to show you how good it does. These aren't even established trails. I'm just riding back here in the woods. But just to let you know, show you how it does over logs and stuff. It handles really good. It may be heavy, but if you get it rolling through the woods, it doesn't feel that bad at all. I'm going through some pretty gnarly stuff here. You can see the bike negotiates just really easy, and the back tire I have on this bike right now is actually wore out, so I'm not getting much traction, but it's still going. It'll cut through it. When you get it off the road like this, you see why Scott Summers liked this bike. You know, he rode a XR600 in the GNCCs and you know, in the Grand Nationals, and you know, he got a lot of championships out of this a bike, not too unlike this one here. If I was going to ride it off-road all the time, I'd probably lower the gearing on it. You know, the gearing's a little tall right now for good highway riding. But it's not bad. It's not bad for this stuff. Just keep in mind, these aren't established trails. I'm kind of making my own trail here. And, you know, I think it's doing just fine. Trust me, it's got way more power than you'll ever use on these trails. Plus I've got a more street biased tire on it right now, which isn't giving me a whole lot of grip. But let me show you how it does over this log. It doesn't really jar you at all. I don't know if you can tell that on camera, but it really soaks up the smaller logs like that. Okay, so that's it on the review, the 26-year review on the Honda XR650L. As you can see, it's a tough bike. It's a good bike. I've had the bike for many years. It's given me good service, never given me any major problems. In fact, I think I might end up having to pass this bike on down to my grandchildren. I think it's just going to run forever. But anyhow, I want to thank everybody for watching, and I look forward to putting out some more videos for you soon.